you know, why is it... Okay, so I am back, like I said I would be, with another review video. Again, it is a foundation and a concealer. So last time it was the Valentino foundation and primer. This time it is Revlon foundation and a concealer. I'm not crazy about it. I don't think I'm going to use it again as reviewing products. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to love every single thing that I get, but because of my business and the industry that I work in, there's always somebody around me, be it a client or someone close to me, that will love something that I don't, or will use something that I'm never going to use. These two products are going to be that. I don't think it's something that I will learn to love. I love the attributes that both have, and I will get into that. It's just not for me. I am a very experimental person. I will try just about anything, especially when it comes to products and makeup. But as far as my foundation goes, I do have my favorite. I just want to preface everything with, don't let this deter you from trying anything. I think it is great to try just about anything you can get your hands on, because you really never know what you're going to fall in love with. And when it comes to makeup and products, there are so many, and reviews are great, but for me, it is strictly coming down to me and my personal choice, my personal preference, and everything in between. So yeah, let's just get into it. First product is the Revlon Colorstay Longwear Makeup. So it is a foundation. And I received the shade 240, sorry. I'm not a Revlon user. I don't buy Revlon. Nothing against it. I just, yeah, so I didn't know where the number was, but it is number 240. And I'm gonna get into the color and the color spectrum when I talk about it more. The other product is the Revlon Colorstay Skin Awaken 5-in-1 Concealer. And when I saw that it said 5-in-1 and saw all the benefits, I thought, that's really cool, that's really great. I didn't get all of those benefits. So as excited as I was to see a 5-in-1, I just wasn't pleased with the results. And I wasn't pleased with what 5 things there are, which I'm gonna get into. So yeah, those are the 2. Oh, also, this I got in the color 001, which is a universal neutralizer. I'm not sure if that was chosen because of my stats or what, but it's just a neutral color. It's just gonna neutralize the skin. It's just gonna even everything out, or it's supposed to. Okay, makeup that I reviewed, the Valentino. This guy's doing stuff, so just, if you hear noises, it's him. Worked in television, I've worked in radio, and I know just about every rule and everything you're supposed to do. But since this is my own thing, I am chewing gum, I'm Britney Spearsing it, and I'm not gonna tell him to be quiet, so just ignore it. But anyway, if you are a Revlon fan, by all means give it a shot. Unfortunately, you know, because it is a drugstore makeup, trying different shades is really difficult. So getting that perfect match is hard. I'm also gonna go out on a limb and make a statement that I'm probably going to get judged for or receive some sort of feedback about, but it's just me being honest. And I'm 34. I have been doing makeup since I was 18. I've bounced around from different careers, different jobs, but makeup has always been the foundation to everything I've done. that's what I started in, and I've been able to add that to all my different careers and jobs. So me having so much time in the industry and so much of a background, I know what I like. I know what works for me. And when it comes to foundations, I'm not a drugstore foundation kind of girl. Eyeliners, lip stuff, yeah, I mean, I have one of my favorite lip liners in the world is from Wet n Wild. I actually like a lot of Wet n Wild products, but when it comes to foundations and powders, aside from the Coty Airspun setting powder, which is a cult classic, it has been around forever, and you can get that, I get that at Target, Walmart, wherever. But yeah, you know, why are some foundations $5 to $8? Why are some $60 to $68? Everybody has their own opinion, but for me, I strongly believe that I get what I pay for when it comes to a foundation, and I strongly believe that if I shell out a little bit more, I'm going to be happy with the results. Mainly because of coverage. As I said in the last video, and as obvious as it is, I love a full coverage makeup. Full coverage, period. Full coverage. All that it says. I'm not even really sure what it is considered. I am going to assume it is medium coverage. Not enough for me at all. It just wasn't enough coverage for me, and that's fine, and that's probably why it's going to be very difficult if and when I receive foundations. It's going to be hard to get an up there. So I'm not sure what this specific foundation, I don't know. I'm going to assume it's medium coverage and buildable. I tried to build it, it didn't work. So yeah. Anyways, so I'm going to be reading off of this. So it says it's new and improved. That I cannot go by because I haven't tried Revlon products, Revlon foundations in the past. So if it's new and improved, that's always nice and great, but I wouldn't know. I also need to note that I got it for combination oily skin because, as I've said, my skin is very inconsistent and I never know what I'm going to be dealing with day to day. So the combination oily skin formula is enriched with vitamin C for antioxidant protection, which is great. Also SPF of 15, you know, gotta have that SPF. The other formula is for normal dry skin. It's infused with hyaluronic acid for 24-hour hydration, and it has an SPF of 20. I probably would have liked to have used that formula as opposed to the one that I received. I mean, it just didn't impress me. And vitamin E is great, but I do enough with my skincare. I don't really need that. So I much would have preferred the formula with the hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid, if you don't know what it is actually a natural substance that our body creates. It's a water-based molecule. The older that we get, the more time that goes on, the less our bodies produce. So you will see, and you've probably heard it, you'll see a lot of products advertised that have it. You're probably going to find it in just about everything. And of course, you know, the fillers that you get, the fillers that I do, that is hyaluronic acid based. So yeah, I much would have preferred to get the normal dry formula. I might just purchase the formula for normal dry skin to try it out because it might be something that I like. I do have good things to say about it. It's just not for me, and I'm not going to wear it again. So that is that. My consensus. First off, as I've said, SPF is always good. Anything with SPF, that's great. Any brand that offers SPF in their formula, that's always great. It took a while for it to settle. So I did have issues with it transferring, but after some time, it didn't at all. So they say that, and I saw that, so that's great. Again, I did need a powder to set it. After a while, it needed a setting powder. So depending on what look you want to go for and depending on what you will or won't mess with, I highly recommend a setting powder. And like I said before, of course I don't have it, that Coty Airspun Cult Classic, it's great if you can get past the smell. Some people like it, I'm indifferent. So again, I did it again. I received the color 240 and I found it a little too pink for me and a little too light. So I would be curious to try a shade up, maybe even 2 shades. As I've said, I like to customize my foundations and, you know, use different colors. It's really hard. It's really hard to see that. Let me try it again. So that is the swatch. It feels really good. And I did make a note of that. It felt great on, so I will give it that. It's comfortable to wear. Yes, I can say it promises a poreless finish. I didn't see that, but you have to take everything I say with a grain of salt, and I tell my clients that. I am very particular to what products I use and foundation. You know, I have the attributes that I look for and must have. It's not a crutch. It's not like an insecurity thing. I just prefer, obviously, a more over-the-top, extreme kind of a look at times. I like to have coverage here. Not to do with, I don't have under eye circles or anything like that yet, but I stay on top of it. I like more coverage here. I have a few freckles. I've had them since I was a kid. I don't care for them. I don't want them. I don't like them on me, so I like to cover that up. So the coverage just was not there for me, and I, you know, went back and tried to build up on it, and it just didn't work for me. And so it being poreless, no. Very matte. After a while, again, I had to do the setting powder, but though it took a while for it to set, and though it took a while to, you know, get comfortable with my skin, I guess you would say, it did turn out to have a matte finish, so I will give them that. And felt very good. So yeah, it still feels good. It felt good on the face when I had it on. I'm not wearing it, by the way. I put it on and wore it for quite some time, and then I didn't put it on again. So that is my take on the Revlon Colorstay Longwear Foundation. Again, if you're a Revlon fan, you know, nothing hurts to try. I mean, it's too light for me. It's too light. So that is my take on that. Next up is the 5-in-1 concealer, which I mentioned I was really excited about, but I'm not impressed at all. In fact, I would say that I like the foundation more than I like the concealer. I don't even know what I would give it. I don't want to give it a 0 out of 10, but maybe a 2 or a 3. I mean, it's down there. I just was not happy about it. Let me start off by saying I hate the applicator with a passion. To each their own. If this type of applicator works for you, that is great. And it even mentions it had the applicator or the tip prevents bacteria buildup. That's great. That's all fine and good. That's not something that I care about. But this is what the tip looks like, and you squeeze it. And because I'm not using this and I don't care, I'm going to squeeze it a little bit. Yeah, this is you're going to have a lot of product waste from this because it's hard to judge how much is going to come out. It's just a waste for me. I just don't care for it. There I go again. So I'm going to swatch. I mean, it just doesn't, and this is on my wrist. It's a little bit easier than trying. I first put it under my eyes, what I like to do with concealers, I put the concealer on first under my eyes and to add more coverage to the freckle area. Then I'll put the foundation on, and then I'll go back and do a little bit more concealer. But this time I will do it again, sometimes, not always, under the eye, T-zone, just to highlight, and then I do contour. Well, I set it with powder, and then I'll do contour. I do a lot, and I love it, all day, every day. That's why I do what I do. I don't like this. I look at it, and it just frustrates me. It's just not, I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't like the applicator. I mean, even it just isn't smooth. It's not, can't think of the word. It just doesn't gel well. I don't like it. It frustrates me. I just don't like it. It could be such a great product, and maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe someone, I'm sure, I know there's people that love it, and that is great. If it works for you, that is great. But this is not for me. It's absolutely not going to be something that I put on my clients, because I don't care for it. I would have to get, a concealer brush or another small brush to apply it, because this just, it doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't care for it. I think it throws off the texture. It could throw off the finish, and it did for my skin. I felt like this applicator was just smearing it all around. When I did use a concealer brush, it just didn't blend well. It kind of smeared all over the place. Bottom line, I think it's wasteful. I think this type of an applicator, though they're trying to prevent bacteria buildup, that's great, that's fine. Wash your brushes. Wash your brushes and sanitize your bottles with an alcohol wipe, or spray a little bit of alcohol. Try to keep your stuff clean and good and safe, and this won't be necessary to have a sponge tip that cancels out bacteria buildup. I mean, I commend them for the idea, but it's just, I think it's wasteful. I think you waste a lot of product by doing that. See, I could go on for 10 minutes about that alone. So yeah, I was so frustrated talking about the sponge applicator tip that I just forgot to read everything. So it also promises 24 hours of wear. Again, I'm not sure. I didn't leave it on for 24 hours, and you really shouldn't. You need to take your makeup off. You need to clean your skin. Don't leave shit on it for 24 hours. But I see what they were going for as far as longevity. I'm not sure. I didn't give it enough time. I think I had the foundation and concealer on probably for 6 to 8 hours, and for me that was long enough to know yay or nay, and I just didn't want to have it on my face anymore. So 24 hours wear, I don't know. Yeah, again, I can't stress it enough, just like I said with the Valentino makeup. For a 5-in-1 product, that is perfect for a majority of people. If you, like I said, don't like to use a lot of products, or you don't have the time, a 5-in-1 product is wonderful and should be right up your alley. So definitely give it a shot. But the 5 attributes that it promises: erases, perfects, brightens, hydrates, and refreshes skin. I didn't get any of that. That's just me. It didn't cover up what I wanted it to cover up. It was hard to apply. I mean, even when I said screw the sponge tip, oh gosh, I just don't like that. I don't like it at all. When I used a concealer brush, it did not give me the coverage at all. I mean, not even coverage at all. I mean, not even passable. And I tried to, layer it, build it, that didn't work. So for erasing and perfecting, no, not at all. Brighten, no. Some concealers do get the brightening effect, but for me personally, and it didn't. I already said that, but I'm saying it again. It did not do that. Honestly, if you wanted a brightening or refresher, wide awake look, this is a makeup artist trick. I've always done it. I do it with my clients. If I don't do it, I at least bring it up. But if you took, if you just took your pinky and swatched, you know, a white or an off-white or an ivory shade that has some sort of luster or shimmer to it, or glitter if you're into that kind of thing, because I am, obviously. If you just popped that in the inner corner of the eye and up on the brow bone, you're going to look wide awake. It just, try it. Go try it right now if you haven't. It just brightens up the whole face. So that is something that I'm partial to doing. So a brightening effect from a concealer just doesn't do it for me. Regardless, it didn't do anything for me. I didn't get a brightening effect at all. Again, I got the Universal Neutralizer shade, and yeah, it's a hot mess, man. I mean, the swatch on my wrist, I know it doesn't look bad on camera, but it's just not great, and it frustrates me that it's just not great. It also offers hydration and a refresher to the skin. Perhaps, I think I was just so frustrated with everything that I've already talked about. I guess it was a little hydrating. I don't struggle with dryness under my eyes or wherever I put a concealer, so I'm not really sure what to say to that. I guess I'm neutral when it comes to that. For refreshing the skin, I certainly didn't see that. I don't even know really what that would do or mean or look. I don't know. So I'm all over the place in this review just because I really thought after reading everything that both products offer to like them enough to maybe try them again, but I just don't. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. You know, I'm depending on what client it is and what they like or what they're desiring. I might use it, you know, I'll keep it in my kit, but I'm not going to be reaching for it. So that is that for the Revlon Colorstay Longwear Makeup and 5-in-1 Concealer. Yeah, if you're a Revlon fan, don't come for me. I'm sorry. But go try it. Like I said, to each their own. You know, you may end up loving the 5-in-1 concealer. It may do all of the things that I mentioned or that it promises, but I did it, so I'm going to go back to my tried and true favorites. So yeah, until next time, don't forget to go out and make your beauty mark. Goodbye from the House of Onyx, and until the next video, take care.